Welcome to today's Daily Dose of Sales Inception. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader, and want to share a couple real life examples where challenging leads has turned into success, specifically for one of my clients I worked with. So I worked with an insurance agency, and anyone who's familiar with the insurance agency or the insurance market would know that it's very competitive. Insurance prices are always going up and down, which typically leads to clients shopping for insurance fairly regularly. And if you look at most of the insurance advertising that's out there, not all of it, but most of it is get a lower price, get a lower price, get a lower price, right? So people have just been programmed to believe that insurance is all about getting the cheapest price. And there's some dangers in that, right? Like, why don't we buy the cheapest cell phone? Well, because we want something that works. We want a good camera. We want a good battery. Like there's reasons not to buy the cheapest, right? And so want to share a couple examples where challenging or after working with my client and they were able to challenge some people, it led to some sales that they weren't accustomed to having. So previously, these clients felt like, hey, it was all about price. That if we don't offer someone a lower price when they're shopping an insurance quote, we don't win the business. And so part of it was just getting this belief that, hey, not only is there the product we offer, there's the service that they get with us, and there's a value to that service. And that value is worth something to our clients. And so we ought to speak to that more. And so I know one particular person had called in. They were shopping insurance. And a lot of times when you're dealing with people that are shopping insurance quotes, they're calling multiple places. And a lot of times they don't want to talk, because they're talking to so many people, they just want to get a price, right? And you commoditize yourself when you allow that to happen. And she was really bold and said, you know what? I know we're not. And so as they started going through the coverage and talking about the price, she was coming out quite a bit higher. And she just leaned into what they were good at and said, listen, you know what? The good thing if you work with us in our office is you're never going to have to call a 1-800 number again. And I bet with everyone you've told me you're working with right now, you're going to call 1-800 number, speak to a different person than the person that actually gave you the quote, where you pay a little bit more with us. You're going to always work with me. You're going to always work with my team. We're going to know you. We're going to know what you need, and we're going to take care of you. Not only that, here's some coverage we recommend that they didn't. No, it costs more. Here's why we think you should have it. And you know what? That client, she which ultimately chose to go with them, despite them being quite a bit more on a monthly basis. And so sometimes I think we're afraid to challenge people or to lean into what we're best at, and we want to make it all about price, and it shouldn't be all about price. You know, another example from the same group, sometimes before we challenge people, we have to show we understand them. So lady comes in, once again, she's shopping, she's getting multiple quotes. She hates insurance. She starts off by saying, all you insurance agents are just crooks. So imagine being the salesperson and that being the opening line of someone you're about to try and serve and work with, right? So she does a good, my client did a really good job of hearing her out, understanding her situation, understanding what she was frustrated with. One thing that's really challenging in insurance is having, especially in auto insurance, is young drivers. They're very expensive. So this single mother, was trying to do a policy and just and she had a teenage daughter that needed to be added to the policy. She got a quote from another insurance agency telling her, let's not put her on the policy, let's leave her off. And they were quoting the same insurance product that my client was quoting. And so my client pointed out, look, we could do that, but this particular policy, and a lot of auto policies out there, won't cover your child if they're in an accident, if they live in the home and they aren't listed. Now that's not the case every insurance policy, every state. That was just the case in this instance. And so she said, look, I know it's more expensive, and I'm going to be honest with you. You can always come in and talk to me. And she just laid out all the reasons that the things she was hearing from other agents just to get the lowest price wasn't going to be in her best interest. So she ends up adding the daughter, adding additional coverage that other people had dropped in their quotes to try and get her a better price. And she recognized, hey, it's worth me spending a little bit more to make sure I'm properly protected at the end of the day. And once again, move forward with this agency when they weren't bringing the lowest price at the end of the day. And she also showed value of, hey, here's some other options we can look at for your daughter down the road, and I'm going to help you solve this issue, and we're going to help you get her own insurance. And here's a path to make this more affordable down the road, right? So if we're not willing to challenge people, then we're really not willing to serve them. We're really not willing to be a leader for them. We're really not willing to be an advocate for them. And so look at your sales opportunities and look for opportunities to challenge somebody's thinking or someone's belief, because that can be an opportunity to show them that you really care about what's in their best interest at the end of the day. And sometimes it takes a little bit of a discussion to explain that. And sometimes before we can challenge someone, we have to make sure they know we understand their situation. So, look, challenging clients will lead to success, especially if you do it in the right way. So look for opportunities today, look for opportunities this week to challenge people when the opportunity arises. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader, and this is your daily dose of Sales Inception.